Release VX 2.8 continues to make a designer more productive with new technology. In this video, we will highlight library migration to the central library for PADS Professional. Library Migration Wizard will simplify the process for you to migrate your PADS logic or existing PADS layout designer library content over to PADS Professional. Let's get started. The first thing we're going to do here is I'm going to create a brand new library. Now you could use an existing library if you want by choosing Open, but I'm going to do New in this case. This will establish a new library for us to migrate our content into, and then in the future, if we have additional libraries to migrate, we can place them in this new container that we've made. So we do Next. So as you can see, we can migrate our existing PADS logic, PADS Designer Netlist Flow, and Altium library content directly into a PADS Professional central library. In this case, I'm going to do Altium. It gives you the different file types that we can pull library data from. So I'll choose Next, and then I'm going to add a library in order to migrate. All right, we'll select our Altium library that we want to convert, hit Open, click Next. Based on the design type you're selecting, a default configuration file will be chosen. You can scan through the settings and redefine any properties that you want. You can save that configuration off for future use once you've converged on a setup that works for your requirements. Click Convert. During the conversion process, it will find properties that are on components that are not default in the PADS Professional configuration, and it will note that these are going to be added into the property mappings file. Before the final conversion, you can see all of the components that were found in the library that are being converted over. You can also look at all the footprints that are being converted over and the symbols as well. Clicking on those items, you can do individual verification of those items to make sure they're what you'd expect based on the library from the other tool that you're using. If we're satisfied, we can go ahead and hit Save. This will finish the processing of the conversion. Lastly, you're given any notes and warnings. An example would be if there's illegal characters that were replaced with characters that Professional allowed, all that is noted in the log files. Right, now that we have our library converted, just the last step here would be verifying the library content. So with our library manager open here, I can go open this new central library that we just created. You'll see the name of it there is called Test Library. That was the name of the Altium library that we chose. I can look at a part and see that the symbol and the footprints have migrated as expected. We can then simply add that to a project. Or from our search window here, we can now see all of the parts that were migrated over. So as you can see, in the matter of a couple minutes, we've converted a library, verified that the parts migrated across as expected. We've assigned them to a schematic, and we can start using them. As noted earlier, if you have additional libraries that need to be converted at a later date and time, you can run the migration wizard again and add that library content into this existing library that we just created.